online, and that course is going to take place over the next few months with an exam in Berlin in February time, somewhere like that. So please fill out your details in there and you might have a chance to win. Alternatively, go and see my colleagues at our stand just to the right after the show. You can see all the materials both online and physical and learn a little bit more about the courses. What we really try and do on the spirits courses especially is understand the spirit in the glass beyond all the marketing and the labelling stuff, okay? We're trying to look beyond all that stuff to understand why it tastes the way that it does. So looking at particular production choices, particular distillery options and how it's influenced style, flavour and aroma. And when I was a bartender, I really wanted to kind of understand why things tasted the way they did. I could hear all the brand stuff and know that, you know, Absolut was the #1 premium vodka in the world or whatever, or, you know, Bacardi was the original Cuban rum, but that doesn't really tell me why it tastes the way that it does. I want to get, you know, scratch beneath the surface to understand the production choices and how they have then influenced flavour. And we'll talk more about that as we move through the samples. And the first sample we're going to try is probably a gin you all know very well, and thanks to Axel and the team at Monkey 47 for the stock. It's Monkey 47, their classic Schwarzwald dry gin, which actually is a spirit base of molasses, neutral base, distilled to 96% as all gins in the EU need to be, and then reduced down to 70% ABV, which is then macerated for 2 to 3 weeks with lingonberries, which is one of the many 47 botanicals that is in there, and the other 46 botanicals are just macerated for 36 hours before a distillation takes place on 4 100-litre hybrid stills. It's then unfiltered and rested in some clay pot stills for up to 100 days and obviously down in Schwarzwald. So we're going to taste things using the WSET systematic approach to tasting spirits. It sounds very, very dry. Okay, I appreciate that. It's actually not. It's very, very wet. We're tasting spirits, but this is the systematic approach, the formula that we use to really understand the theory on any course. And this is a key tenet of any course and qualification that we offer. And it's moving through appearance, nose, palate, and making objective notes and descriptions and clear and concise ones so that the student can ultimately reach an objective conclusion about quality of spirit too. And this is an example from the level 2, and it gets more complicated as we move up through the levels. We start with appearance, but I'm not going to dwell on appearance. I can tell you that all the spirits we're going to taste, 1, 3 and 5 on your tasting mats are clearly water white and colourless. We don't need to talk much more about that. But generally on the courses we don't dwell too much on appearance either. Why? Because our eyes can be deceived, okay? If something's got a medium amber colour, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's been aged. If something's clear, colourless and water white, it also doesn't necessarily mean that it hasn't been aged. Colour can be removed just like it can be added. Yeah? So we don't really dwell on that part too much. With wine, in comparison, you can deduce certain things about production from the appearance of the wine. It's not such the case with spirits. So, should we move on and pick up our first glass and check out the nose on here? Now these are the ideal glasses for tasting spirits, I admit, but you get what you are given. But if we do take a whiff and get our nose right in, it's quite a pronounced intensity in terms of aroma as far as gins go, certainly we're at the top end of medium if anything. Does it smell like gin? Yeah? I wouldn't say juniper is the principal aroma characteristic here, but it's definitely there, right? But you can see on that systematic approach and those lines there, the aroma characteristics and the flavour characteristics highlighted in red are examples and then are relating back to particular stages of production. So on the other side of the systematic approach that you get on the course, there'd be a lexicon of descriptors categorised into where those descriptors relate in terms of production. Are they derivative of the raw material? Are they derivative of how that raw material has been processed? For example, malting or roasting in the case of agave spirits or something like that. You know, are the flavours derivative of those stages, or are they derivative of fermentation? And fermentation is a key driver of flavour and aroma in many, many spirits, and we're going to taste some examples in a moment. Or are they derivative of post-distillation operations, namely oak, maturation, interaction with oxygen, or additional flavourings, as is the case here. So obviously with a gin, the real driving force, the only place we're looking for any flavour characteristics is post-distillation. It's a flavoured spirit, and all of that flavour has come post-distillation through maceration, as we saw, and redistillation with, in this case, those 47 botanicals. Now, in the classroom, we do often add a little bit of water to our samples. Not only does it help when tasting upwards of 20, 30 samples in a day, but it also kind of helps break down some of that alcohol and maybe open out some certain flavours. And naturally, with a gin, we're going to be mixing a spirit, mixing a gin ordinarily. So adding a little bit of water can actually help the experience, and adding a little bit more in this case does bring out maybe some more of those aromas, more of those herbal or floral notes. There's things like rosemary and thyme and those kind of things in that botanical mix. I think there's like a cinnamon bark that really drives this as well, a kind of licorice sweetness, yeah, on the nose if anything. And certainly that kind of maybe red fruit or dark fruit that's from those macerated berries and others. Still juniper there, certainly, but there's lots of other contributing factors going on as well. I challenge anybody, I suppose, to list the 47 botanicals in Mocha 47. Can anybody do that? Yeah, got it. Right, let's have a taste, and you'll notice that the palate is separated into lots of different lines as well. I want you to consider those different lines as we taste it. The first line of the SAT is sweetness. This spirit is inherently dry. Once you swallow that spirit or spit that spirit out, it goes dry, doesn't it? It's a dry gin, yeah? There is no sugar added post-distillation, therefore this is accurately described as dry. Now that's not to say there aren't some sweet descriptors that are coming to mind. There is some licorice and maybe some of that red fruit and cinnamon and so on. But inherently it is a dry spirit by nature because they're not adding any sugar post-distillation, and that's what this particular line of the SAT is here to measure. Texturally, definitely very mouth-filling, warming, and really, really quite smooth and silken actually. And a pronounced flavour intensity, and all the characteristics that we've described very definitely relating back to post-distillation. Finish is long as far as gin goes, certainly, with some complexity, I would say. Shall we move on to sample number 2, and Mr. Gavin Wrigley is going to talk you through what he's done with this particular gin.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Gavin Wrigley from European Bartender School. Good to see some familiar faces. Okay, yeah, so like you said, what I tried to do with the cocktails here was mostly just to lean completely into the spirit. So obviously when you're making a cocktail, a lot of you will know you've got a few different choices about whether to lean in or lean away or try and be a juxtaposition to what's happening. But I really tried to work with the flavour descriptors that are there and just lean completely into them. Let the spirit continue to shine. So you'll notice when you taste this, you're still getting kind of those sweet, you made a good description as sweet flavour descriptors while still being dry. So like you said, I think you can taste licorice, I think you can taste red berries, but it's still quite dry. So I used Mocha 47 Quinquina because, obviously we all know that quinine and gin goes really well together. And then because of the evergreen nature, you've got the juniper in there, you have rosemary notes, you have hard sort of thyme and hard herbs like that. So I leaned back into that with some pine liqueur as well. I've had a tumultuous time with pine liqueur in the past. It's been really difficult for me to work with, but I think we nailed it in this drink here. I think I'll let the drink speak for itself. There's a garnish suggestion on there, but we didn't do that here. We just got the liquid. So yeah, enjoy. So I think on the nose you get even more of that sort of evergreen nature that you did than we did from the Mocha 47.
Gin still really sings, doesn't it?
Yeah, but hopefully, for me it's softened up, but I haven't pulled away from that pine note.
Really kind of amplified that red fruit character in there as well, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of juicy at the front, and then it goes really, really nice and dry and herbal and stuff at the finish. It kind of banana seeds going on down the sides as well, which is really nice. That's delicious, that's a banger.
Thank you very much. Wait till the next one.
What do you think, guys? Woo! Woo! Should we move on to our next sample? The next sample might be more of a challenging one for some of you. Baijiu is not a classically
It's more challenging for me.
And it's challenging for a lot of us in our Western palate. I'm just getting my head around it myself. What is a little bit more palatable, a little bit more mixable, is the light aroma category of Baijiu. As the aromas and characteristics are inherently lighter and more delicate, and actually a little bit more gin-like or even white rum-like in some cases. I'm not going to give you a really big deep dive into Baijiu because my colleague and Baijiu extraordinaire Nicholas King over there, who is actually the man who authors all of our spirits materials, including the brand new level 3 in spirits, which is the most advanced multi-category spirits qualification in the world. And it now also includes Asian spirits, Baijiu, Soshu and Soju. So I'll leave it to Nick to give you the real rundown on that tomorrow. But the majority of Baijiu is made from sorghum type of grain, and the fermentation and the processing of that grain really comes from what they call cube, big cube in this case, which is actually a mixture of peas and barley. It's actually where you find all the microorganisms and yeast to do that processing and do that fermentation and do a lot of that flavour generation, that ester creation during a parallel fermentation and distillation, which is actually done. The fermentation takes a month and it's solid state fermentation, and then the distillation is also solid state in these traditional Baijius that you can see here. Those traditional Baijiu stills are effectively like a packed column, much like you might find in some vodka production, where a lot of reflux can happen, a lot of rectification can happen, so we produce a spirit within a single distillation essentially. A lot more goes on before that to generate a lot of flavour in fermentation pits where there is a huge amount of microbial activity and bacteria and such, which can generate a great array of different ester flavours, really big pungent flavour, which you might be familiar with in some other categories of Baijiu sauce and strong aroma Baijiu. What we find in this particular sample though is much lighter. And let's move on to tasting. As I said, I'm not going to dwell on appearance. All of the spirits are clear, colourless and water white, okay? And this has been, poured for some time now. It's been open to the elements for some time, and actually since I first tasted it when it was straight out of the bottle this morning, it's actually developed and changed a little bit more and become even more kind of pronounced and pungent, I think. And that intensity is probably somewhere in the medium plus territory again, I would suggest. It's very lifted. You might argue that it's quite floral in character, as well as definitely that kind of tropical fruit, kind of slightly rancid turning kind of tropical fruit, but not overtly so. But there's also a graininess here, which is, undeniably a reflection of the raw material. There's a cereal note on the nose, which is really derivative of that grain, of that sorghum. So, grain, cereal character directly from the raw material, and then this kind of like floral but fruity ester character on the nose as well. Feels almost kind of zesty, acidic. Try a little bit of water and see if that develops things, and then let's go for a little taste. Really juicy on the palate. Actually far more pronounced in terms of flavouring senses than I think it knows. Again, inherently dry, despite that big juiciness and zestiness in the front, it immediately goes dry and is actually quite recipe, maybe some elements of what we might describe as tails in a traditional Western distillation. It's giving it that kind of grip that you might be familiar with from Agricoles or Jamaican rum. We just had an amazing session with Worthy Park, and we had some similar characteristics in some of those marks. So that texture is very definitely mouth-filling, and these are just some example descriptors in here. You might say quite full-bodied, rich, full-flavoured, very definitely a kind of warming, energised sensation to the alcohol. I think this is bottled at around 50%. Flavour intensity is accurately described as pronounced. Grain character running through it certainly, but I think it's far more about that processing. And this has actually been rested for some time in clay vessels as well, so there's some oxidation potentially happening as well there to stack and really kind of build on the character of those esters and give them a greater richness, a greater concentration and a greater intensity. Finish. We're probably talking into somewhere from medium-long territory as well. It narrows in terms of complexity, so you probably struggle with some there as well, but I think it's about time we tasted it mixed.
Yeah, so obviously when I tasted that, I got the samples sent over to me. I was like, well, how do you make a cocktail out of this? It's already a cocktail in a bottle. There's so much going on there. You've got so much ripe fruit flavors from it. So many esters, like you say, like it's like working with an agricole or something like that. It's super complex. Yeah. So again, I was still trying to lean into it, but you'd have a tough time not leaning into it anyway. You wouldn't be able to get away from this. So those ripe fruit flavors, I leaned in with a Rinkin Kin, which I think is going to be the main thing you taste from that, even though it's quite a small amount. So the nice peach flavor that you get from the Rinkin Kin. Where basically that was my starting point. We had that going. We had some orange blossom in there, which works really well with those two flavors, but it was still a little bit sharp. So all I did there was just added a touch of Coffee di Torino. I can't talk today. Yeah, and that just softened it up just enough to be nice and round in the palate. Did I get one?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, so you get that nice peach flavor coming through. Yeah, like I said, I really wanted to just keep the complexity of the Baijiu. There's really no need to overcomplicate a drink, and obviously it's kind of more difficult to create simple cocktails sometimes that can be recreatable.
I mean, again, the spirit sings, and that's what the best cocktails do, right? Bring the spirits and bring their characteristics to the fore, and you say that kind of fruity florality that's all comes from those esters, and that really, really concentrated, maybe oxidized character to it is really amplified again with the addition of the vermouth and the brown cracker. I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you don't have a really strong brutal spirit as the base as well, you can easily pull too far away from it. You can either completely lose it. So you really want to play into it and let it do most of the work, and just add little notes around it, which is why we added the orange blossom. Oh, just on the honey as well, guys. So because we run a completely vegan cocktail bar in Manchester, we don't use honey, so we make fake honey basically. So we use carrot fruit syrup, infuse it with lemongrass, and we just add a little bit of citric acid. So the syrup on its own tastes kind of like honey. Don't have any food to taste. That's why we do it that way. You could just use regular honey if you wanted to.
Thanks, Gavin. Another banger? Yeah, technical term. Right.
Banger. That's what I want. That's what I'm aiming for.
Final sample is an agave spirit, a Del Maguey Mezcal from Chichicalpa, and thanks to John Anders and all the team over there for the stock again. Really delighted to be able to show you this because it's, again, an absolutely exquisite and outstanding spirit. The raw material is the most commonly associated agave species with Mezcal Espiguin. Those Espiguins are roasted in the underground pits, Juanes de Pozo, for about 4 to 5 days, and there's a whole plethora of different woods used to fire those pits in this case. including Sabino and the Mesquito, which is very familiar. And the roast on this is really driving a whole host of different processing flavours and raw material flavours. The fermentation, as is the case across the range, open with the fibres from the agave, which is not a requirement in all cases, but many do to add to that richness of that cooked agave character and that raw material character. It takes 6 to 8 days, and obviously the long fermentation, open to wild yeast and the elements, is going to create again a lot of that microbiome activity and bacteria and open wild airborne yeast to create a whole array of really interesting tropical fruit flavours and potentially even kind of bigger, bolder, richer kind of floral textures as well. Distillation double copper pot still, and all produced down in Oaxaca, as I say, Chichicaca. So if we pick up sample number 5 again, clear, colourless and water white, don't need to worry about that too much. Clean, pronounced intensity, very, very typical agave notes, both cooked agave, but a really kind of nice mineral, slate content as well. Yeah. Some of that vegetal character, some of that kind of green pepper, that bell pepper, that freshly cut pepper, chili, ginger potentially. But then there's that smoke layered on top as well. That smoke's almost coming across to me as something maybe incense-like. I want to add a little bit of water to see how that develops as well. Roasted agave. Smoke. Maybe a clay kind of quality to this or something like that, or something that is mineral content. Should we have a taste? Dry, but really big, full, rich, mouth-filling, mouth-coating, lovely, grippy, lovely kind of. Oh. Amazing, it just goes on and on and on. Flavour intensity is accurately described as pronounced. We've got that agave character, we've got that kind of green character in the agave definitely running through it. But again, a lot of processing with that agave, that big long roast, that really dry kind of over that spice and pepper and chili and kind of incense quality of those wood types. Some tropical fruit aromas, some green apple potentially, which is very common created during fermentation. Yeah, some of those kind of zesty notes in the middle, that kind of buoyancy and that juiciness is really coming from fermentation, that really, really long and rich fermentation. Some of that kind of grippy characteristic that's carrying all through as well. That might be evidence of some, again, some tails which are there to carry some of that big, bold flavour certainly and give us that long and kind of slightly granular kind of texture. Long and complex finish, no doubt about it. I want to see what we did with it. Because it's a smoke bomb.
Yeah, I spent a couple of days out with Del Monte in Mexico, so like, for me, like, obviously you get the tasting notes, but myself and my colleague over there, we spent a few days out there, and you just taste tradition when you taste it. You know, there's like a real memory kick for me when I taste that. I just go back to that place, like hanging out with the Escalados. Yeah, so again, you know, 3 kind of like pretty challenging spirits actually to make cocktails with. If you live by the rule that a cocktail should always be greater than the sum of its parts. So like when you're working with a spirit as great as that, you really don't want to cover it up and make it any worse than it started out as. And for me, that's juice. I mean, it works really well. This is our only shake and drink. The other two are stirred down. And again, a little bit of orange blossom water. And a halva orgeat, for which, again, I use a little bit of coconut vinegar in as well, so it's kind of a little bit of a tropical orgeat to play into those tropical flavors. The spirit itself, I got a little bit of mango and pineapple as well as the green apple, so I try to lean into that. Could have done with a touch more shaking, but it's okay.
What do we think, guys? Tell us more about this halva orgeat that you used.
Of course, your classic orgeat. Look, I don't know if anyone has made orgeat the classic way. It's a ball like to make, let's face it. We make a nice halva orgeat. Halva is very prevalent, kind of really dry nut butter. So if you want to turn halva into an orgeat, I mean, it's almost there. It's just already a solid. So you can take a nice organic kind of halva. You can use kind of any nut butter really, but halva works really, really well. Traditionally, it's pistachio. I think we used an almond one though. You also get sesame as a common one. So we use an almond orgeat into a blender, mixed it in with some sugar syrup and some carob syrup again, and then cut it with some coconut vinegar and cloves, cinnamon and nutmeg, just for complexity. So really you're just looking for the complexity there. You could also add something to cut through it, like you would with a regular orgeat as well, like an orange blossom or orange flower water or something like that, maybe even rose water or pepper water or something as well. Again, we try and keep everything plant-based and
Where did you do all this? Where did you prep the batch of this?
Oh yes, all of this that you're tasting right now was flown from England. So we have a bar in Manchester where we prepped all of this. I chucked it all in a suitcase. So my suitcase looked pretty funny when I opened it last night. It was basically 2 shirts and 12 litres of booze. That's it.
Got very lucky as well. The Capra arrived about an hour ago, so we were kind of squeaky bum time.
Mexican time.
Yeah. Right, guys, that's about it. As I said, you can find out much more about the qualifications at the website. We'll go around to see my colleagues around here. We've got all the materials both online and physical study materials for you to have a look at. Just to give you a little kind of synopsis of the spirits courses. Level 1 is an introduction, very much kind of rudimentary, kind of key principles and key characteristics of all major spirit categories. A 1-day course, traditionally. Level 2 is where we really start to get to kind of professional elements of it and inter-category comparison really, so we can kind of look at a variety of different spirits within a particular category, so we can compare particular production choices against one another and how that has influenced what you find in the glass in terms of style, flavour and aroma. And then level 3 is where it starts to get uber geek, as I say. Really, really deep dive into all the major spirit categories, including the Asian spirits, a lot more on flavour spirits, Amaros, European fruit spirits. That literally just launched. So anybody who signs up for it will be amongst the first people in the world to ever get into the qualification. I'm happy to say I did the pilot, and we did the pilot in 3 days, and it was 90 odd spirits to taste in 3 days. It was intense. Don't forget to fill out those little forms if you want to get a chance to win that level 2 online. Obviously, we want to finish up and tell you about bartender school.
So of course, I mean, we also have probably, I would say, more practical courses, if that's okay to say.